Shit. I played COD. I played COD. So
That's a terrible analogy, friend. We're gonna get
it's not a
canceled.
terminology.
We're
Hear
gonna
me out.
get canceled.
Hear me. Fuck being canceled. I don't give a shit. What I'm saying, my analogy with COD is that is the most racism I have experienced.
Oh, truthfully.
So in my mind, I'm like, what can you really say to me? Like this is in the form of name calling. I'm not talking about like because there's multi levels of racism, but like I'm just talking about like just in the form of name calling to get me to provoke me to action or violence or whatever. Because you see that a lot now. You see that so many times. Well, you have a white person say something, or they'll say something slick or whatever, and I'll be like, well, he was being racism. He was being racist. What did he say that was racist? What he called you out your name? He said something messed up. Is that really racism, or is that guy just being a prick because he know it can upset you? Like real racism is someone seeing you and saying that prejudging, profiling. That's real racism. I saw this video. It was a skit or it was from a movie. I don't remember which one. And there was this woman who was what's it called? She was on the phone and she was like, it was those park where they walk the babies and stuff on the stroller. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she was on the phone talking to somebody about her friend. Her friend was on with a gun charge or whatever, and this white woman right beside her overheard her was like, I don't think you should be talking about that around the baby. And I'm like, okay. And then the woman looked at her and was like, are you? Because the baby she was sitting was white. So the girl was like, is that your baby? And she was like,
What do you mean
that
by
look
that?
like his wife. And basically she started going and profiling like, and then she ended up calling the police and followed the black woman to her car. It was the entire fuck fest. That's what real racism looks like. That's profiling. That's not just calling you out your name, getting called or whatever, or slur, or whatever. I don't feel like that's real racism. I feel like
It's
real racism is
racist.
like when
Like, think about it like this. It's racist in the sense of like you can't just call a black person the hard R. That's just wild. And you can't call.
freedom of speech,
I mean, it is freedom of speech, but it's
devil's
all
advocate.
you just got a word for everything, don't you? You love using those single word adjectives. Ugh. Anyways, you gotta just think about it like this. It's all up for interpretation, and it's all up to how the person feels. If the person feels as if it was racist, it may not actually been racist. It might just them the other person just being a twat. But if he feels like it was racist, to him it's gonna be racist. No matter what we think of it.
But why is it? Why is your first thought to enact violence?
Because people are just violent people. Like, um it goes like this. It goes from conversation to confrontational. There's really only two sides when it comes to, and I don't like saying it, but when it comes to people, it's only two ways. It's confrontational and the conversation. Because there's way too much video evidence of just like a simple conversation or an argument that wasn't violent at first, but because one of the parties, which was just so happens to be black, got a lot more angry than the other party and threw the first attack. And now either they're fist fighting or someone's dead on the ground because the other person decided to go grab a gun.
You know something? I got an extreme. I got a
We got to get
very.
to the next topic. I'm so sorry.
We're gonna get to the next topic, but I got a very extreme example. Case George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin. Now, hear me out. This is a. I feel like this is a good example, just because. Okay, George Zimmerman, ever since that case happened, he's basically been publicly shamed, outcast, can barely find a job, do anything. So basically, that the damage in that guy's life has just been not has been dire. And I'm pretty sure he can go somewhere where people really don't know, or where people was on his side during the case. He'll be perfectly fine. He can live life normally, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But if he let's say him trying to go like to a main city, nah. Let's say he's trying to go to a city where any predominantly black anything, you're done. Don't even try it. So you have to live it like he's been put in a situation where he have to be where he's limited. And I would say that he did everything right in that situation, but one thing, because he was a neighborhood watch. We know this for a fact that in the case he was neighborhood watch. He was watching whatever. You see this kid in a neighborhood. This predominantly white neighborhood. From the case they was talking, predominantly white neighborhood, and he sees a black kid in a hoodie. Okay, he calls the police and says, "Hey, there's a kid in a hoodie who's been walking around his neighborhood looking at houses for like the last however many minutes. I'm pretty sure it was like 30 minutes or something, and that's the reason why." So basically, he was watching the kid. He was watching Trayvon the entire time, and he was watching him the entire time. And all of a sudden, he's like, "You know what? I gotta go." Even though the police told him, "Yo, you're good. Just stay in your car, and we'll deal with it. We'll see what happened. Talk to him, whatever." For some reason, we will probably never know the real reason or the real answer on why he got out of his car and confronted Trayvon Martin. We will never know what he said to Trayvon Martin ever. But what we do know is he went up to Trayvon, confronted him. Trayvon attacked him, broke his nose, and now we got another black guy dead. So the way I've always talked about the situation, I'm like, what probably happened was George said something Trayvon didn't like. He attacked him, and obviously he didn't know dude had a gun. If he knew that dude had a gun, probably wouldn't have attacked him and broke his nose. And I hate that it had to come to that situation because maybe it was George being racist and looking for a problem, looking for a reason to sue. That is a possibility, but that's something we're never gonna know because I'm pretty sure if that was the case, he's gonna take that shit to the grave as he should because if that's the truth, body
America,
bag.
America,
But
we is gonna throw a
it's
temper
just
tantrum,
just food for thought, food for thought.
man.
But
This talking about racism and black people in the industry in America got me excited to talk about a individual of mine, Monique.